really fun. And we had classes. We had independent classes from the brokerage for just our agents.
Hey, y'all.
And then we had classes together. It was really good.
Y'all can hear me?
It was really good. Absolutely.
Yes.
Dream big.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm about to introduce the speaker for tonight so that we can get started. Let me tell you, y'all in for a treat. Y'all are in for a real treat on tonight. I'm telling you, you better be glued in. He wants questions. So y'all ask all the questions that y'all want. I met George Bryant. I put him in the group. I met him when I started out in real estate, and I was 2 years in, and I was real buyer heavy. And my broker sat me down at the time and he said, Willie, you're too buyer heavy. He said, you need to start doing more listings, because he said, you're going to kill yourself doing buyers. So he had told me, he said, why don't you start a team? And he said, I got somebody for you to talk to. He's up in the Washington, D.C. area. And he said that he had to speak up there. And he asked me would I fly up there with him. And I flew up there with Sonny to meet George. And he was a broker at the time. He had done started, his team had blew up so big that he eventually became a broker. And man, the hospitality was off the chain, and me and him been brothers ever since. He's honestly been a mentor to me. I tell y'all, I talk to other brokers all the time, trying to get ideas and different things like that. And this man knows his stuff. So I want y'all to soak it up. I'm actually teaching his agents on tonight, so I'm about to get off. And he got the co-host for tonight, but y'all enjoy George Bryant on tonight. George, you got the floor, man.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. Very much. Welcome me and to you and us to y'all. We all intertwined. We got 2 different Zooms going. How's everyone?
Great.
Doing great.
Great.
Hello.
Terrific right. Tuesday.
You said
we're doing
great for
we're doing great.
I said terrific Tuesday.
Terrific Tuesday. I love it. So yeah, so this is definitely something that is different, because we talked yesterday, and he asked me to come in and do something on Teams, and he was like, can you do it on a Tuesday? And I was like, well, I teach my brokerage on Tuesday. So he was like, oh man. I said, well, hold up, let's flip it. You teach my brokerage and I teach yours. Then let's go ahead and do that. And he was like, cool, let's do it. So we talked for a hot second last night, and then text and email today, and here it is. We got it done. Okay. So I'm definitely one that loves to entertain questions, because basically you can teach people a lot of different things, but you have to make sure that you're in tune to what they really need. And that is basically where I am. I want to make sure that I give you all what you're looking for as far as a team. So I teach classes a lot. Most of our classes up here are via Zoom. The offices don't get a lot of traffic like they used to since COVID. I don't know how it is down in Florida or down in Jacksonville, but our offices are very light. So Zoom has become my friend. I do about 3 or 4, maybe 5 Zooms a week, and they're basically training new agents, team leads. I have what they call a team lead mastermind, things and such. So I like to teach from Gary Keller and Jay Papastan's book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And the reason why is because this is a book that when I first got into real estate that I learned and I digested. And I had to, I actually read it so much that the pages were starting to fall out of the book. That's how much I read it. So I've always taught my team when I had my team from this. So just let me tell you a little bit about my background. I started off in real estate about 2006 as a wholesale investor. I don't know if anybody's familiar with wholesaling, but here in the Washington, D.C. area, you have a company called Metro. And that company is like being on the police department up here, NPD or Prince George's County Police Department. They pay well, they have great benefits. So I was working for Metro for 10 years actually. And I used to always watch this guy named Carlton Sheets. I don't know if anybody ever saw Carlton Sheets commercials late at night, no money down real estate. And
Yes,
yeah, and I thought it was
I got it serious.
yeah, I thought it was like a hoax and like, oh, it's a scam. So I started reading on it. And once I started reading on it, I started saying, interesting. This might be something real. So I had a buddy, I refied on my house and took some money out to buy investment properties. So when I went up to a city called Baltimore up here to buy some properties, because most of the properties were boarded up, and it's a haven for investors. So I went up to Baltimore and I was like, well, I'm gonna buy this property and I'm gonna rehab it and I'm going to put a renter in it, or I'm gonna rehab 2 or 3 and I'm gonna flip them. So before I flipped the property, he was like,
Please close my door.
he said, I want you to meet this guy. And he said, once you meet this guy, before you spend your money, I just want you to meet this guy. So there's a place called Hanover, Maryland. I live in what we call Waldorf, Maryland. Hanover is close to Baltimore. Waldorf is close to King George, Virginia. It's about maybe an hour and a half drive, right? We make these type of drives up here all the time. But at the end of the day, the guy drove at 9 o'clock at night from Hanover, Maryland to Waldorf, Maryland to meet me at a Bob Evans to get me started as a wholesaler. He gave me a yellow piece of paper, a black folder, and some red ink pens and some scripts to write. And the scripts were like 4 letters, four-line scripts. And I wrote the scripts, and he was like, just write these letters, go onto the Baltimore site, and once you go onto these sites, you can definitely start getting phone calls. He said, I want you to buy a track phone. He said, don't use your cell phone. Use what they call a track phone. He said, go to Walmart, get a track phone, and put that, and I want you to put that in your letters. He said, don't answer the phone. He said, just check the messages every day. So I would check the messages, and he was saying, okay, look, I want you to let me talk, and I want you to listen to the calls as we did it. So I did this for 2 weeks. In 30 days after that 2 weeks, I made $52,000 in wholesaling. So being a single dad at the time, that was some good money, real good money, because I needed it, right? I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm sorry. So I definitely
We sorry to hear that.
so once I made that 52,000, it was no looking back. So at that time, I never took off work. I had a lot of vacation. I had a lot of sick leave. So I went out on stress from my job. I had a year and a half off. Every week, I still got the same check. Didn't miss a check. I still had my retirement, all of that. So I took off for a year and a half and I built my real estate business. I resigned from my job and I basically started going into real estate as a full-time investor. I had a partner at the time by the name of Eric Wesley. Actually, his nephew was just drafted the #1 pick for the NFL, Caleb Williams. So I had a partner at the time that was
Go Bears.
yeah, go Cowboys. So I had a partner at the time that was definitely we were definitely in it. So the market crashed in 2007, 2008. I just resigned from my job. I'm a single dad. And wow, I just got into this business called real estate. So what did you think I'd do? What do you think I was going to do? Did I go back and get a job? What do you think? Absolutely not. So what I did is we flipped a coin. Eric said, look, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to flip a coin, and whoever loses the coin toss got to take the real estate exam. Because none of us wanted to be real estate agents. Because investors don't want to be real estate agents. So I was like, okay, bet, let's do it. We flipped the coin. I lost the coin cost. I had to go to real estate class. I did all of the things that a realtor needed to do, got my license, affiliated with Exit because Long and Foster was where I took the training. Now, Long and Foster, I grew up in DC. I don't know if you all know about DC, but I grew up where the original Chocolate City, where it's a rough crowd, okay? And I didn't escape a lot of that trouble that come up in DC. So when I went to Long and Foster wouldn't take me because of my past. So I knew a guy by the name of Dante Mayo, who was with Exit, who was a broker. And I called him. I said, man, Long and Foster won't take me. He said, oh man, that's good. I said, why you mean? He said, then you can come work for me. He said, I'm gonna show you what we gotta do to get you right. So he did all of the necessary things to get me right, and I affiliated with Exit. That was back in 2007, 2008. And I have been with Exit ever since then. I was slow starting off during the pandemic, during the crash of 2008. I basically started just doing the letter writing campaign for short sales, because short sales became very, very popular. Short sales became so popular that I had like 13 or 14 short sale listings at a time. So then I started learning different strategies about how to wholesale short sales. So I got into all of that, and then I slowed down. So about 2012, maybe, I was like, you know what? Spoke to Eric. I got to go back and get a part-time job. I got to take care of these babies. We need some health insurance. That's what's got to happen. So I went back and drove the bus, the commuter bus part-time. I drove that bus for maybe like a year, maybe a year and a half. And one day, a guy, they used the word hating, was hating on me, and we used to get overtime. And he was like, the supervisor don't want you to have, Vaughn was the supervisor, don't want you to come out here and do overtime no more. So I was like, man, why not? He was like, I don't know. You just got to check with him. So I guess he didn't know the type of person I was. He thought I really wasn't going to go check with Vaughn. So I went to check with Vaughn, and Vaughn said, I never said that. He said, let's go out here now. You can get overtime. So basically what I told Vaughn was like, nah, don't worry about it. I don't want to be a part of no mess. I said, I just wanted to make sure that we was good. He said, yeah, we're good. I said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to drive my bus up to my real estate office every day. And I told him, I said, I'm going to park it out there, and I'm going to stay out there till it's time for me to go back to DC and pick up my load and come back out here. I said, is that okay? He said, absolutely. It's safe on the street. I said, yeah, it's on the service road. He said, cool, you could do that. So I started going to that office every day. No clients, no direction, just had faith. So when I started doing that, I started getting momentum. People were asking me questions, teaching me stuff, asking me questions about, hey, how long you been in the business, different agents. At that time, the agents were in the office. So I just kept using the concepts that I used as an investor. And as I did that, I started coming up with ideas. I started using bandit signs, all different things. Had a loan officer that started me off with $68 a month to invest in Zillow. I do not advise anybody to buy leads. I'm gonna get into that. But at that time, that's what I knew. So we started off with $68 a month. We worked that so hard that I started getting so much business that my broker's dad, who was a licensed agent, had to help me with my load. There was too many people. So then I started looking for other agents. His dad was like, you should build a team. I said, what's a team? And he explained to me what a team was. So I started building a team. I started recruiting people, got an admin. I was paying people a little bit of money at that time, y'all. I didn't know what I was doing. So I had to learn over time. So as I started learning what I should pay people, my team picked up. We went from a $68 budget to $11,000 a month. Here's what it included. It included radio ads, TV commercials, everything. We had signs all over the area. Everywhere you went, we were posted. We made a lot of money. We did, one year, my team of 10 people, 11 with me, outproduced the entire Long and Foster's office next door to us. And that's when I knew that I was on to something. So started doing that, ran the team. Then we stretched the team out to another office. So we went from one office, pardon me, y'all, my son is leaving. Hold on one second. So we took it from the Fort Washington office to what we call the Lanham office. We went from the Lanham office, and when we duplicated the team. So now you had two Bryant teams going from on both sides of Maryland, Prince George's County, Maryland. You covered some of Charles County, Prince George's County, DC, and Prince George's County, right? So we went from that, and then we just kept grinding. I was coming down to Jacksonville to see Sonny and Ray every year to learn different stuff from them. And then I would bring that stuff back. And then I end up meeting Do the Deal when they brought him up here to agent awards that he spoke at from our first agent awards. And prior to that, like I just said, I'm a Cowboys fan. I was in Texas, and I came back from Texas, and my broker was like, I want to talk to you. I thought I did something wrong. I was like, what's going on? And he was like, well, I want to just ask you, are you ready to go to the next level? I was like, what do you mean? He said, the next level, are you ready? I said, what does that entail? What does that look like? He said, being a broker. I was like, I mean, I can consider it and think about it. And then he was like, okay, well, look, here's what I got for you. I got 2 offices. I'm getting ready to buy the region. And I want you to take whichever office, it doesn't matter. You take whichever one you want. I was like, really? What is that? How does that look? He said, I'm gonna give it to you 4 times net. Check with my coach. It was an excellent price. He said, but you can pay me overtime. I said, so you don't want the money all at once? He said, you've been very loyal, man. So you could have left a long time ago. He said, you can go and pay me overtime. It doesn't have to be month to month. It can be when you feel you want to put something on the brokerage, and we can keep it going. Took me 2 years to pay them all. Around that time, that's when we had our first agent awards. So I look at those things as blessings based on being good to people in the past. So we took off with the wheels running. Heavy recruiting. I did a lot of training. And by that time, my team was agents, because legally in the state of Maryland, I can't have a team as a broker. It's against the law. So I had to put somebody over my team, but run the team through that person and run the brokerage. So now most of the people on my team are now team leads at my brokerage. If they're not at my brokerage, they're team leads somewhere else, and they do pretty well. So a lot of the stuff we learned, it came from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. I know this is a book that a lot of people, if you ever worked for Keller Williams, think it was written for Keller Williams, but it was written for real estate agents all over the world. That's why they interviewed so many. And we basically just went into work mode with the brokerage. And we just started setting up different teams. And we just started, structuring these teams. Our splits were different than everybody else's. We started recruiting people based on that. Our training were different. It was a lot of different things that we did that was just unorthodox for us to get to the next level. By that time, we now out of 200 and something brokerages in Prince George's County, we was in the top 10, then we dropped to the top 15. So to me, that was an accomplishment out of 200 brokerages in one county. So you got Moe County, Montgomery County, Charles County, Prince George's County, Anne Arundel County. And you got Howard County. In that one county, it was 200 brokerages. So we was number 15. That county is Prince George's County is the most productive county when it comes to real estate in the area. It is also, it used to be the most influential and richest Black county in the country. Now, Charles County, where I live at, is the most richest Black county in the country, and Prince George's County is second to it. So the bottom line is we were producing, we were doing a lot of business. We were making $100,000 very, very easily a piece. So at that time, I was doing at least $300,000 to $400,000 a year or more in commissions. GCI, I was netting probably like 3 to 4, something like that. And we were really moving. So it was a system, and success leaves clues. And there's systems that you have to use, you have to look at. And some of the things you probably have already learned that you probably do not implement, that you might want to go take a look at and just basically use those things as your tools. So we're going to go into something that I always start with. And this right here, if you ever look at this book, these are the agents that were interviewed all over the country about being millionaire real estate agents. When I talk to my agents, we don't talk thousands. I don't want to hear about 1,000, 500,000 a year. I want to hear millions, because you got to aim high. You got to aim real high. And you got to set the mark for where you want to be. Okay. Any questions? Anybody got anything to say? I'm going to ask that through the whole training. You got to aim high. Any questions? Anybody got any statements? Nobody? Tough crowd. Y'all ain't going to talk to me tonight?
Hello, I do. My name is Dee Dee.
Hey,
Nice
Dee
to
Dee.
meet you. I just
Okay.
wanted to say to you that I'll be up in your area on Monday, and I
Okay.
would love to meet you. I'll be up there for a week
Okay.
with Apostle Michael A. Freeman and Dr. Dee Dee Freeman. They're my spiritual leaders. And I
Okay.
would love to carve out time to meet you.
All right. I'll send you my information. I'll get do the deal to send you my information, where my office is and all that. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Not a problem. So you
Mhm.
want somebody else said something? So you want to aim high. Aiming high for your target, right? So what does that look like? Like, if you sit here and say you want to earn 500,000, I don't know what your commission splits are at your brokerage, but if you had commission splits and you say you want to earn 500,000, you gotta make sure that that's inside of what you aim to do. Okay. And if you're building a team, this is how you have to think. It all starts right here. So this is what I'm going to talk about most tonight, is a mindset. A mindset. That is definitely how you build a real estate team. You can't lead if the mind is not right. Does anybody on here have any aspirations to build a real estate team? Anybody?
I do. This is Barbara Battle.
Okay, Ms. Battle. So have you started? Have you done anything in the LaShonda wants to build it? Have you got people up under you? You recruited anybody? How does that, I mean, how does it look for you down there?
I haven't recruited anybody, but I've been working with others, trying to get, inside the brokerage, trying to build a team inside the brokerage and stuff. So I have been working with others, and we talked about building a team.
Okay. And LaShonda, you raised your hand. Are you able to unmute and speak?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I do. I have not started that process, but I'm still new into the real estate market, but it's definitely something I'm looking forward to getting into as I grow.
Okay. So how long have you been in the real estate market?
Officially February 28th,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
also did wholesaling prior to it. Well, I take that back. I did the classes, I started it, but I was never able to complete a deal in wholesaling. I worked on it maybe for 2 years, but just never had a deal. So I actually ended up becoming a real estate agent, and this is where I am.
Okay. So here's the thing. Well, I don't know the rules in Florida, but here you got to be licensed for 3 years to be a broker or a team lead. A team lead has the same exact responsibilities as a broker. So how it works is, if your team member gets in trouble with the real estate commission, not only does the broker go down, but you go down as the team lead as well. So there's some prerequisites you're going to need to actually start a team. There's a broker supervision class that you need to take 90 days prior to starting the team. For those that want to start a team, you take that class. It's a part of your CE classes, and it's broker supervision class. So once you take that, it gives you an understanding of how a broker can be responsible for someone else's infractions. So that's a very important thing, okay? So those are the prerequisites. Get this book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Does anybody on here have this book? Has anybody ever seen this book?
I have it. I
you
have
ever-
it. I read it.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, I have it. I've seen it.
I
Okay,
have to
okay.
buy it.
You say that again, you had what?
I don't have it. I have to buy it.
Okay, cool. For those who have it, what did you think when you read it?
I loved it. It motivated me. I just kind of got to the point where I got a little burnt out with so many other things, but but it's really a great tool. Like multiple, to listen to it multiple times. It's
So you
good.
listened to it on Audible?
Yes, audiobook.
Okay. I'm trying to let my files catch up because it's slow on this Apple. So here's the thing. The book in of itself it's a wealth of information. So there's 7 levels of a team. I kind of know the book verbatim, but I like to go to the pages. It's 7 levels to a team. Level 1 starts with who? Level 1 starts with who?
You.
You.
Exactly. Level 1 starts with you. Level 1 starts with you. My suggestion, when you start getting help, the first thing you should hire, the first person you should hire is what?
Oh God.
What's the first person you should hire?
Yourself?
I'm gonna say the assistant.
Okay. Some say the assistant. Anybody else?
Yourself?
Well, you've already been hired. We working
Assistant. I say assistant. This is Dee Dee.
assistant. Okay. So the first person you should hire is a TC, a transaction coordinator.
That's the assistant.
Right. You should hire a transaction coordinator. And let me tell you why. A transaction coordinator is one that gets paid only if this transaction settles. If you get a transaction coordinator that wants to get paid during the process, you need to look for another transaction coordinator. Transaction coordinators are only compensated when the deal settles. Why am I saying that? Because it reduces your overhead, but it frees you up to do income producing activities.
Amen.
Once you get somebody that's looking over your contracts, taking your deals from contract to close to settlement, you basically want that time to be free. If you have that time to be free, you can now prospect more. You can do more on a daily basis to build your team. Okay. Who is this? What's the second person you should hire?
I would think this is Dee Dee. I could be wrong. I'm just thinking off the top of my head.
Mhm.
Somebody to do marketing for you. I don't know. I mean, I
That's
thought
a
about
good.
that.
That's a good thing. So there's no wrong answers. We're learning, right? So
Yes.
that's a good thing. So marketing, you're gonna do that most of that yourself because the brand is you. You are the brand until you start getting other people on your team. You are the brand. You're selling yourself. So when you look at martial artists, right? You have to look at what they do to break a brick. They look beyond the brick. They look beyond the brick to the ground to break the brick, right? So as you get into this business, you have to look beyond the smoke, the mirrors, and you have to get right to the people. And you got to see the core of who you are. Because people are buying you. People are not buying, if people don't like you, if people don't know you, and people don't trust you, you have nothing coming. So you are the brand. You are the marketing piece. As Jay-Z say, I'm a business, man. You are the business.
My TC actually does all of that in addition to me being the brand and the business.
That's
My
correct.
TC is my assistant. She does my marketing. She does my social media content. She does it all. So she's literally an assistant that encompasses all of those roles.
See, and that's the thing. That's a great thing. You got someone that does all of that. But in some cases, you just have someone that focuses on being a transaction coordinator. That may not be familiar with social media marketing, may not be familiar with mailers, may not be familiar with doing certain things to get your name out there. Door knocking, all of those type of things. You want to make yourself a household name. You want to become a rock star. You want to become the rock star in your area, in your farm area. And as you become that rock star, you start building around you. You start building around. So you got your TC, you get your admin assistant. Now, this is the person that's taking your calls, that's setting up your appointments, getting your calendar in order so people can meet with you, getting your paperwork right so you can go to your appointments and have all of the documents, your buyer's guide, your seller's guide, or your buyer's guide for buyer broker appointments, different things. You want to make sure that you are totally free for 3 hours a day. And what is that 3 hours for? What is that 3 hours for?
To build your team.
Prospecting.
Prospecting.
Prospecting. 3 hours a day. 3 hours of prospecting. 3 hours a day gets you 36 closed transactions in 12 months. It's a science and an equation to all of this. If you speak to 12 people, you can make 12 contacts, you're going to get 1 lead. 5 leads gets you 1 appointment. 2 appointments attended gets you 1 settlement. So you want to make sure that you're doing these things to get in front of people. Building a team, you are a rainmaker. You can't have a team and they sitting back waiting for business. You got to have so much business. The object of a team is you got to have so much business that you can't handle it. If you can handle all of your business, you're doing yourself a disservice by giving it to somebody else. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I need call and response, y'all. I'm going to call on some people. I'm looking through these names now. I'm looking through the quiet people. So I definitely want, you gotta make sure that whatever you do, you're doing it consistently. And I'm pretty sure you're hearing this from your broker. You got to do it consistently. You got to be systematic with it, and you cannot stop. The number one thing a real estate agent must have, and we getting into this mindset piece, number one thing a real estate agent must have is faith. Do you realize as a realtor that you leave your house every day without a paycheck in mind? I should say literally, it's in mind, but you're not guaranteed a paycheck. You're leaving your house, going to do a thing, but how confident and how strong do you believe that you're going to come back with something to feed your family? Anybody? How strong is your belief? Your faith have to be so real. As a team lead and as a realtor, especially if you full-time. Now for you, and I'm not knocking nobody that got a job. That's a crutch. But I'm gonna tell you what I was taught about faith. Test it and see if it works. Test your faith and see if it works. As a realtor, your faith will be tested. Your patience will be tested. As a team lead, when you get realtors that you help build up and they do something because they want to leave you, they don't know how to just be straight up and say, I want to leave, I learned from you. They'll create a problem. And then the brokers go through it too. They'll create a problem. And then you got to be so big that you got to just look at that stuff and let it fall off your shoulders. It's all about a mindset with a team. Consistently building your team means that you're actually out here prospecting for 3 hours a day. So prospecting simply means that you could do it the way you want to do it. Does phone calls mean 12 contacts? Do you have to make phone calls to make contacts? Anybody? Because I know some of y'all like making phone calls.
No.
So
No.
everybody, right. So let me ask you, does everybody on here like making phone calls?
No.
I don't.
I know.
Nope.
Yeah.
If you don't like making, so what's your move? Then what are you gonna do that's different? What's your marketing?
I don't mind doing phone calls. I'm not no big social media person though.
So
But I don't
there it is.
mind talking on the phone. I'll talk on the phone all day.
See, some people don't like social media. Some people don't like the phone. How many people like social media?
This is Dee Dee. I love
I
social media.
You love everybody. So who loves social media and who like phone calls? What's the numbers? It's 21 on y'all on here. So half of y'all like social media and half of y'all like phone calls, or is it 19 like social media and the rest like phone calls? What is it?
I like social media, but I will make the phone call.
Okay. So which one you think you're gonna profit more from?
Social media.
You think so?
And the reason I say that, because I literally post like every 2 hours.
Okay. And what's your content like?
Whatever I feel like putting up there that identifies who I am.
Okay. You know that social media tell it all, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do a plethora of things. So I mean, I start off with, like I say, like a quote or something. So it just, like I say, anything that brings out who I am as a person. I might put up something funny. It just all depends.
Okay. 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 All right. So anybody else does that with social media? Anybody?
I do videos, different types of videos, exercise videos, real estate videos, getting your hair done video. I just do all kind of videos. Lunch with my husband, time with my dog, just whatever come on my heart, so people can see me and
So
feel my personality.
that's exactly what I'm looking for, realness. So what about TikTok? Anybody on TikTok?
I am.
Yep,
How many
I am.
videos? How many people do videos on TikTok?
I do.
me too.
I do.
But
Me
I do
too.
exercising videos on TikTok.
That's good because realtors, business people, period, should exercise every day. That's a part of being a millionaire. Most millionaires are healthy. Because you don't want to earn a lot of money and can't spend it because you're sick. You got to go out here and work, get that body moving. So that's a good video. But what do you wear when you're doing your videos? Do you wear something branded with like realtor on duty?
I do. I put my dream big hat on.
Okay. Anybody else do that?
I wear my pins sometimes, but no, not all.
Okay, so what about investing in yourself and buying a dozen of shirts or half a dozen of shirts just to work out in?
I like that idea. I need to do that.
Yeah, realtor on duty on the back with your website or your phone number. I don't know. Ladies, I always tell my female agents to be very careful about but you got to put yourself out there. You just got to know how to filter it. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure when you go out to these, like to the gym and you're doing these videos, there's something that's going to connect you to real estate. Do you want to bombard people with real estate? Absolutely not. But do you want to hint to real estate? Absolutely. That's how you eat. You should practice real estate as a job. Constantly. You should always practice real estate as a job. You should take your real estate with you wherever you go. And that way, when you go to work, people at your job should know you're a realtor. I know some jobs don't like you to solicit. That's fine. You don't have to solicit if people know you're a realtor. Can they tell you what to wear? I mean, you can't wear their pen, but what if you get some sneakers with "I'm a realtor" on it? They sell them, you know that, right? Did y'all know that? They sell stuff like that. So you want to definitely make sure that look, this is what I wear all the time. I brand my brokerage everywhere I go. Even when I go to my son's soccer games and basketball games, I brand my brokerage. When I go to his practices, I brand my brokerage. I know a broker up here that wears his real estate name tag to cookouts and parties. He never stops wearing it. But he makes over $707,000 a year net commission. So you gotta definitely, this thing don't seem like it's gonna catch up, y'all. I really wanted to get to some pages, but this Apple computer, anybody got Apples and know how it works? But I definitely can do it off the top. But
Don't do MacBooks like that.
man, I was tricked into buying this.
We're gonna have to give you a class.
All right, please. So the bottom line is brand yourself. Being a rainmaker is the most important part of being a team lead. But being a great leader is also up there. How do you look at your commission splits as a team lead? Up here, we did 35-65. A lot of people told me I was losing money because I did 35-65. But if I did 35-65, I gave more to the agent on a buyer side, 35-65. That means, okay, you get 65%, you're going to work harder. If I'm taking half of it, you might look at that as a slight. So if I get 10,000, I'm getting 35, they getting 6,500. So it's just what it is. So I think they would like the 65 a lot better than the 5. Then on all listings, because I pay for all of the video, all of the cameras, all of the photos, I paid for all of that stuff. We did a 50-50 split. Then on their own transactions, I only took 10%. Why did I take 10%? I took 10% because I put it back into the funnel of the marketing tool. So the marketing monster took their 10%. So if they made 10,000, I get 1,000. I put it right back into the marketing funnel. And that's what kept us going. So anybody know the difference between a team and a group? Anybody? Somebody want to take a shot at it? Call them somebody. Who said they wanted to be a team head? Was it LaShonda and who else? You know the difference between a team and a group? Somebody tell me. Shoot a guess.
I would, this just a guess, but maybe a team has a leader and and then the leader's responsible really for the team, but a group are just a group of individuals, I'm guessing, who are on the same level working towards a common cause.
That is correct. You hit it right on the head. A team has one person that's responsible for everything. A group, the person in the group doesn't have to take the broker supervision class because you're all responsible. All the group is doing is bringing their money together and they're marketing together and they're dividing the leads up and they're working on them individually. No one gets a split here, no one, it's a group. So I like the team concept better. It gave me a little more control. It gave me a little more a better outlook on my money and on my investment. Some people like groups. You got people that call their teams groups. What things in real estate, when you have a team, what words can't you use for your team? Can you use the word real estate in your team?
I don't think so.
Say it again?
I don't think so. I was trying
No.
to think
You cannot.
back
You
on
can't say-
training.
Right, you can't say the Bryant real estate team. You can't say those things. You got to use like the Bryant team or the Singleton team. You got to use those things. You can't use real estate terms in a team because people will get you confused with the brokerage. When you advertise as a team, do you have to use your broker's logo?
Yes, always.
All right. Anybody else agree or disagree?
I think you can use your own branding logo.
You cannot use your own branding logo without using the brokerage logo.
Logo,
That is
put both of
correct.
them at the same
Was
time.
that
Yes,
Ms.
you have
Gray
to.
that said that? Ms.
That
Gray
is,
said that?
yes, that's Ms. Gray. Unfortunately, here in Florida, we are not allowed to use our
Correct.
own
Yes.
personal logos without using our brokerage logos.
That is
Right.
everywhere, not just Florida.
Okay.
That's correct.
And the personal logo can't be bigger than the
That is
brokerage
correct.
logo.
That is also correct.
That is correct. That is correct. The broker's logo must stand up. So when I did my advertisement, I always said the Bryant team of Possession, Exit Elite Realty. That's what the name of the brokerage was. Exit, now it's Exit Community. The Bryant team of Exit Elite, that's how we were branded. That was possession of. We belong to Exit Community, Exit Elite Realty. We don't exist without Exit Elite Realty. You don't exist without Dream Big. You got to affiliate with somebody in order to sell real estate. So you have to use the brokerage logo, and it has to be bigger. And you should proudly represent whatever your team, and use that of Dream Big. You gotta, I'm telling you, when you lift up your brokerage, you go higher. Even as an agent, when you got agents that try to make themselves bigger than the brokerage. They never had a success that they're looking for. And if they do, it doesn't last long. So that's another thing that you'll see with teams and team leads. You'll see team leads start to challenge the broker or try to outdo the broker. I called my broker the whole time I was a team lead, Big Boss. Y'all know why I called him Big Boss? It kept me in check and kept me humble. It reminded me every time I saw him, he's the man. I would say, Big Boss, man, what you think? Because that was his, and still to this day, when I run into him, I still call him Big Boss. He gave me the shot nobody else gave me. Because I always lifted up his brokerage. I had no issue with lifting up his brokerage. So as you become a team lead, you really want to lift up your broker. You want to lift them up. And if you lift them up, you'll be blessed.
So it's funny you say that. I always say that my broker believed in me when I didn't believe in myself anymore, because I failed the real estate test 4 times before I passed it. And I was ready to throw in the towel and quit. But he literally believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And I tell everybody that.
See, and that's a testimony to me, because we don't get hooked up with people by accident. Think over that. I started off with Dante Mayo. He folded during the crash in 2007, merged with Corey Banks. I ain't never met Corey Banks in my life. Corey Banks walked in the office and said, "Hey, Mr. Bryant." And I looked at him and was like, "How you know me?" They was like, "That's the broker." I never thought he and I would develop a relationship to where he would bless me with his brokerage to become a owner. So you get hooked up with people for a reason.
God don't make no mistakes. That's a fact. And he and I have been rolling nonstop ever since. And I'm approaching 6 years. And I believe he either just hit 8 or 9.
8, I think it's 8. Yeah. So at the end of the
8.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, my whole thing, we're having a conversation about team leads. These are the most important things to me in my experience of a team lead. Stay humble, grind, feed your people. I've seen team leads that try to build teams after they saw the team concept come up and Exit Elite. They had team members going to get their coffee. That's not a team. That's an ego being fed. So you have to be very, 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 very humble. You have to stay humble. You got to focus on reading. Read books. Leaders are readers. I'm going to give you some books to read. 92, let me give it to you. I'm going to tell you just right now. I'm going to give you the exact title. I'm going to give you the exact title, because you got to read these books. These are some good books. How to Talk to People. How to Talk to Anyone. Write this stuff down. How to Talk to Anyone by Lyle Lounsden. And it's 92 Ways to Have a Conversation. The Magic of Believing. Okay.
Can you go slow, Mr. Bryant, please?
Yep, I can. How to
can you
Talk.
go-
How
Yes,
to talk
sir.
to anyone. Okay. And you say, and it's by loud, I'm gonna spell it LeilLowndes. How to talk to anyone. You can get it on Audible. Okay. The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Because whatever you do, you feed in that mind. See, I'm not going too deep because I don't know. I'm feeling the crowd out, but I can go really with this mental thing. The 48 Laws of Power. You want to listen to that. Okay.
Now that's a good book there.
Yeah, you want to listen to that. It teaches you how to move.
The
Here-
48 hours of what?
48 laws of power.
No.
And then you got another one that's real good. It's Asked and It Is Given by Abraham and Esther Hicks. And I'm gonna give y'all one more good one. I ain't gonna give y'all all these books tonight because there's a lot of them. I'm looking for it because I want to make sure the titles are right. Let me see. You're broke about the law. Chime in with us. All right, here it is. The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. That is a good one. Okay. So get that one. Listen to those on Audible. You gotta have, so to be a leader, your level of understanding and knowledge is how high you're going to take your team. Readers are leaders is really true. You want to take it, you want to just constantly engulf yourself. Sometimes I sit up in the middle of the night and I look at videos and I read and I take notes and I research. I read stuff like quantum physics on how atoms in the mind and neurons and mirror neurons and stuff like that in your mind. Mirror neurons is a very important thing to think about because as a team lead, your people will be a reflection of you. They will mirror you. They will mirror your habits. If you don't come to trainings, guess what? Your team ain't coming to trainings. If you don't prospect, guess what? Your team not going to prospect. It's so many different things and aspects of a team, but that first level, it starts with you. The second level of a team is when you start picking up admins. And that first admin, as we said, is it Miss Gray? We said is going to be your TC.
Yep.
And then you're going to go get that admin person that's going to run your back office. Then you start picking up listing and buying agents. And as you pick up buying agents, and I'll send this stuff to Will because we got agreements that you can have them sign. And it's a Word doc, and you can change it to whatever you want. And it outlines your rules and what you see as a team. It has an NDA, a non-disclosure in there. That they can't take your leads that you've given them for 24 months and contact them. It gives you everything to protect you. It gives you everything to help protect your team members. It's a whole structure. I don't know about the state of Florida, but here, the teams have a form that they register with the DLLR, the Real Estate Commission. And that's how you end up becoming responsible along with the broker if anything goes wrong with your team member. So leading a team is so much more than just saying I'm leading a team. It's about personal development. If you're not developing yourself, eventually your team you want people to pass you. If you teach, here's the thing. If you don't lead people better than you found them, there's a problem. I'm going to say that again. If you don't lead people better than you found them, there is a problem. Some people need to be on teams, but you don't want to get on a team because we be having egos going on. Ain't nothing wrong with submitting to anybody watch football? I'm pretty sure y'all do because I said I was a Cowboys fan.
Come on now. Come on now. You got to bear down on this call. Bear down.
So here it is, right? If you look at the quarterbacks that excel, except for this new guy that's over there with the Commanders over here in DC that I don't like the team, but I like him as a quarterback. If you look at the quarterbacks that really excel, they've sat under a starting quarterback for some years. If you just look, if you do your research and you look at the people that sat under somebody for some years, look at the coaches that do well. Look at the coaches they sat under. And then they come out and they explode. It's nothing wrong with being on a team. It's nothing wrong with getting up under someone and them teaching you what you need to do. Once you get that and you serve your 12 or 24-month period with them, you can leave and go do your own thing. You can't, a team lead can't expect you to be there forever. And a real team leader wouldn't want you to be there forever because where's the growth? Anybody feeling what I'm saying? Anybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Y'all a
Sir,
tough crowd.
yes, sir.
I'm
Yeah.
like, Will, you on here? They're a tough crowd.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
they're a tough crowd. Hey, dude, they're a tough crowd, boy. I love it. I love it, though.
That's because we paying attention and taking
I-
notes and writing down information.
So you definitely want to develop yourself first, and then you can start birthing other people. I'm using language that I hope is not offensive, but you can start birthing other people. You start giving life to other people in the real estate world. You can reproduce yourself, but build you. Get those things in line. Once you get those other things to support you, so you can do that 3 hours of what?
Prospecting.
3 hours of prospecting
Yeah,
a day.
prospecting.
A day. 3 hours of prospecting a day gives you what? 36 transactions closed a year, 12 months. And the price points, I don't know what your price points are there, but the price points have gone up. I'm pretty sure they have. Because the average sales price here used to be $250, but now it's like $425.
Yeah, it's up here as well.
So I know the price points have gone up. So you want to make sure you free yourself up to do that. Trainings. You have to attend trainings. I don't know what your attendance looks like down there, do the deal with your trainers, but I'm telling you, it's extremely important. Because the things that he's teaching you today, you might miss it. That might be the thing you need next week for an appointment. And then you're going to call, do the deal and say, I need some help. Well, I taught that last week.
Oh, this?
I taught that last week. Now you want me to take my time again and re-go over this because you missed the training that I gave to everybody. And you missed it. But because I'm a good person and I got a good heart, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to help you. But I need you to come to training. I might be saying something. I don't know. Am I saying something that's real? Because I know that's what I deal with.
Talking that.
Yes.
That's a
I
fact.
just mentioned that Sunday, George.
We
I
just
mentioned
talked
that
about that,
thing
didn't we,
you
Will?
said Sunday.
Wow.
I
Okay,
sure
so
did.
so
Confirmation.
it's like you gotta to be a leader, you gotta be a great follower. Let's talk about that. It's some people that want to be team leads, but how well do you follow? There's a book called The Power of Followership. I cannot think of the author, but I will research it and send it to do the deal. But I'm saying, how good are you at following? We can go. I'm glad. Maybe this is meant to be that these pages won't come up because I'm talking about something totally. I'm talking about team leads, but I'm talking about teams. But how good do you follow? And if you look at how you follow, that's how you're going to lead. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You want to develop yourself. Income never far supersedes personal development.
Hey, is that by Robert Kelly?
What's that?
The Power of Followership.
It may be. Did you look it up?
I did, but it looks like it might be, and I'm not 100%
It
sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So there it is. The power. So those books. What's the power of being they got a book on how to follow. And nobody wants to be a follower, huh? I followed a broker for years. And I just told you, I called him Big Boss for years. Do the deal know him? He know who he is. They went to a game together down there in Jacksonville. And who won that game? Did Pittsburgh win or did
I can't remember. I can't remember.
But my thing I'm saying is I followed him. And I don't think he's upset that I'm doing the things that I'm doing after he showed me what to do. Does that make sense? I think that when Do the Deal was with Sonny and Ray, he got a lot of nuggets. And look what he's doing. Loyalty brings about great reward. Great reward. I'm telling you, because a lot of people think they're going to leave one brokerage and go to another brokerage. And this is what I tell agents. When you leave that brokerage, you're taking you with you to that same brokerage. Ain't nothing changed. The only thing changed is the name of the brokerage and the address. I hope I ain't saying nothing to offend nobody, but I'm being real. So you leave one brokerage and you leave, all you're doing is leaving the same old person going over there. What changed? Nothing but the address. And you stay where you are. Peace be still. Work on you. Develop you. Become the leader that you want to see other people. When you become the example, I was always taught, be what you want them to be. Meaning that whatever you want to see your people as, you be that. And I know you're broken. You ain't even got, yeah. I stand on that 10 toes down and however they say it now, do the deal. I know he giving you some great examples. He's about that work. So at the end of the day, be a great follower and watch how you develop as a leader. Now, let's talk about some questions. Do the deal. They don't want to ask no questions. They say I want to have a conversation. I don't want to just talk. Let's talk, y'all.
Mr. Bryant.
Yes.
This is Dee Dee again. You said
Hey.
something about income never supersedes what?
Personal development.
Okay, I'm taking notes. Thank you.
Okay. So your personal development, how they say water seeps its own level? You ever heard that before?
No, sir.
So water seeps its own level. If I pour this beautiful Cowboys cup, if I pour this water inside of another cup, it's going to be the same amount of water. It's not going to go no higher. I would have to add more water to make it go higher. That means in some places, water represents knowledge, information. You have to then add more water. When people say, I'm pouring into you, what are they pouring? It's knowledge, but it's an example of being poured into. So you have to definitely develop you. And when you start developing you, you don't have to ask to be a team lead. Remember what I said. My broker's dad told me what? You need to what? Start a team. And I was asked him, what's a team? I had no clue. So he educated me on what a team was, and based on the fact that I was constantly learning and working, that made him say, okay, you getting too much business. You got me helping you with stuff. He said, nah, you need to start bringing people in. And he helped me organize that. So any questions before we start concluding? Y'all been on here for an hour. I don't know what time y'all in do the deal. And I don't want to go too far, but I really want to go deeper, but I'm going to just stay right there. So, so any questions, any statements? Do I need to call on everybody and ask them if they have a comment?
I have a question. This is Barbara.
Okay, Barbara.
Can we give you a call to do like a one-on-one?
That's up to your broker. I'm open to it.
Yeah, that's fine. I offer that to your agents as well.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Let me chat. I got to put my number in the chat. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. 535-0721.
And I told them to inbox me on social media too as well. I didn't give them my number. I told them to get my number from you if they need it. So you're more than welcome to give it.
All right, I'll send it out. But a lot of them follow you too.
Okay.
Yeah,
I seen that. I was
yeah, a
shocked.
lot of them follow you.
already.
A lot of them follow you. They follow you big time. You
I was like, wow.
I told one of them today, I said, yeah, we got a guest coming from Jacksonville, do the deal. He said, oh, I follow him on Facebook. so yeah, so a lot of them follow you. So you good. They know you. They gonna, yeah. I'm not heavy on Facebook like that. I'm more on my VIP page, our company VIP page. I post every now and then, but I definitely do post in the VIP page. I'm more of a door knocker, mailer, phone call. I'm a cold caller. I'm more of that type of person. So that's me. I won't pay for leads. We were going to talk about that. If you have to, I understand, but I don't suggest it because what you'll see is a lot of times you're going to break even paying for leads. All you got to do is do the work. Your sphere of influence is the number one thing. As a team lead, your sphere of influence you should be working that very heavy. You should work it. Everybody familiar with the Ford technique, right? F-O-R-D, F-O-R. Everybody familiar with it?
Mm-mm.
All right.
Yes.
You say yes? Somebody say yes?
Lace.
Yes, I did.
All right, so you're familiar with it? You want to talk about it for a little bit? Or do you want to do it together? Want to do it together?
Yeah, we can do it together because
All right, so write this down, everybody. Ready? F.
family.
Family. That is correct. O stands for occupation.
Occupation. Yeah, the people you work with.
Yeah. R stands for Lace. That should be the recreation.
Recreation. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And D, what's the name of your brokerage?
Dream.
Dreams. That's what the D stands for. So when you're speaking to your sphere of influence, those are the things you can start a conversation with. How's the family? Everybody doing good? Children playing sports? What grade are they in? How old is which one is the oldest again? You're creating a conversation. Occupation. You still work for the government? You still sell real estate? Oh, really? Want to talk about the occupation, recreation. We've been doing that the whole time. I started off with what? I'm a Cowboys fan. So I use recreation to have this conversation. Then I use football as an example. Recreation. Then dreams. What's your dreams? Now I'm asking you, what is your dreams? And if you have them, do you believe it? If you don't believe it, it's not going to work. Your name of your real estate agent, real estate broker should tell you enough that you got to believe. Do you believe it? That is the big question. So dreams. Have conversations with people on those things. Will, I'm going to send you this LP Mama. I don't know if y'all familiar with that. LM Papa. And I'm going to send you the Ford technique. I'm going to send you all of those things to distribute to the agents, okay? And then I'll send you the team agreements and stuff like that, how to interview for a team, job descriptions. I'll send you all of that stuff.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna email you all that stuff. So the Ford technique, LP Mama, which talks about location, price, motivation, agent, and mortgage, right? So, well, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Location, price, agent. I don't know. I gotta send it to you, Will. I can't remember it. I got it right here. Let me pull it up so I can be accurate. But location, price, it's right here. I'm gonna give it to you so you can have it. But I'm gonna try to write it down. And these are the things that you're gonna use when you're dealing with your team. You got the Ford technique right there. Hold on. I wish I could have shared this, but I didn't have it. I got it in his location, price, I just had it yesterday. Teaching the class yesterday. All right.
It's location, price, motivation, agent, mortgage, and appointment.
Exactly. There we go. See, y'all know this stuff already. Who said that?
I did. It's LaShonda L'Oreal.
LaShonda, where'd you get that from? Did you look it up real quick?
No, I actually follow another real estate agent. She has a podcast called the Bestie Podcast.
Yes.
And she talks about that.
Yeah. So
Roseberry.
yes, that's good.
Mhm.
Location, price, motivation, agent, mortgage appointment. So I just found it after you said it. Great. So that is the thing. Those are the things when we're having conversations, we can focus on those things. We can just have they're actually points and structures that you can talk to people on. And the main one you're going to use the most is the Ford technique. You're going to use that more than anything else. Because who do you talk to mostly every day? Your family.
And some family.
Friends and family. That's what you're going to do. You're going to use it, and you should use it, and it should become a part of your DNA. It should become a part of you. This information that you're getting from your broker, this information that you're learning, it should become a part of your DNA. It should become a part of your flesh. And the beginning was the word, right? Do the deal?
Yeah.
It starts with the word. What you think you're doing when you're reading books? I ain't going there, Will. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna leave that up to you, man. What you think you're doing? What you think you're doing when you're reading books? It becomes a part of your DNA. It becomes a part of you. It's just like the food you eat. It becomes a part of you. A doctor starts reading a book, and then he goes into the operating room and he cuts on you, and you come out better. Where did it start? It started with a word. And he internalized it, and it became what? Flesh. And he started doing it. So you have to internalize real estate the same way. Stop thinking of this as just something to do and look at it as your career, your profession, the thing that you have decided to do. Let me say this, and then I'm going to stop, Will. If you woke up and had the idea, who gave it to you? Think about that. You don't have to answer it. Just think about it. Where did it come from? I don't know if you say this kind of stuff, Will. I do. I do.
I love it.
Where did it come from? Why you? And what are you doing with it? Well, you should talk about the talents. You know the talents. You know what I'm talking about, man. And you should talk about it because they got the idea and they probably watching somebody on social media doing well, but they burying the talent. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Why you? I'm done, man. I appreciate this.
No.
We're gonna do this again, but I'm gonna be a little more relaxed because right now I'm feeling. Huh?
I'm sorry. I have a question, Mr. Bryant. This is LaShonda
Oh,
L'Oreal. You
yeah.
said that you like to do cold calls. Do you have scripts and do you mind sharing them?
I do. I'll send you the
Okay.
scripts too. I do scripts.
Okay.
Let's do this one script. Y'all got the new law down there too, right? The new law about the real estate commission, the NAR settlement.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna give you one. Y'all write this down, okay? And I want to read it verbatim because what I teach the agents is to ad lib on their own, but I'm gonna give you the script verbatim. It's another agent will charge less. You need this script because that's what's happening. They're gonna try to charge less, right? Here's your response. I can appreciate that there's someone who will work for less, but your agent negotiates for you. If they can't negotiate with you about their own money, how likely will they be to fight for your money when buyers make a low offer? I'm gonna read it again. Y'all ready? I'm gonna send this to your broker, okay? I'm gonna send this to your broker. I can appreciate there's someone who will work for less, but your agent negotiates for you. If they can't negotiate with you about their own money, how likely will they be to fight for your money when buyers make a low offer? If you were the seller on that, what would you say? Think over that. I'm sending all of this to your broker tomorrow. Who asked that question? That was a good question. Was that
I
LaShonda?
did.
Okay. Is L'Oreal? Okay. All right, Miss
Yes.
L'Oreal. So I'm gonna send this to your broker tomorrow.
Okay.
It's gonna be the seller's objections. It's a lot of it. It's pretty thick. I'm gonna send it, and You can just memorize it, but put it in your own words. But you get the concept of where it's going. Does that make sense? The fact is, if I can't fight for my own money, how am I fight for yours? If I can't fight for myself, do you really expect me to fight for you? That's basically what it's saying in a nutshell. So when you run into that, that's the script you got. And exercise it and be very calm. Smile when you say it. Don't feel offended that they say, well, can you do 0.5%? That's offensive to me, but I mean, it's you just have to you just
I
have
have
to.
a,
I'm
I'm
sorry. Go
sorry.
ahead. Go
I
ahead.
have one more question for you. This is
Sure.
LaShonda again. What is the number one way that you go about getting listings?
The number one way I go about getting listings is through my SOI. The people I know, my past clients. For example, the interest rates drop, right?
Mm-hmm.
I called my clients, past clients from 2023, and I called one of them today. I said, hey, I need you to reach out to Craig, the loan officer, because the interest rates drop. And I told you that when they would drop, I was going to call you. And she was like, I was going to call you yesterday. Me and my sisters got a house in DC on Blaine Street Northeast, and my niece ain't paying the rent, and we tired of it. It's paid in full. We just want to get the money out of it. I said, send me the address. I'll send you some comps. Just by me calling, telling them about interest rates dropping. My niece, my large brothers, I mean, all of that. I talk to people. I always advertise myself as a realtor. You can do letters. I do probate. Anybody familiar with probate?
No, that'll be a good class for you
Yeah.
to next, George, when we
Okay, that's fine. So I'll be very honest with you. This takes a lot of humility for me to say this. You might want to get Barbara to do that. She's really good at it.
Oh, okay.
And you can tell her I said that.
That'll work.
Inside thing. And if you need her information, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
But she's really, really good at it. And I
Okay.
wouldn't want to do you a disservice and cheat you based on she's really good at it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's making a lot of noise with it.
Okay.
So yeah. So I would say from me to you, that would be a great class.
I
I
get
can get somebody else to do it, but I just don't think they do it as good as she does.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And they just don't do it. Yeah. So that's a good thing. Probate, I can give you the scripts, I can give you all of that. But the concept of how to move with it, I'm going to put, he knows her. I'm just going to put them in touch. And yeah, you all will definitely get a lot out of that class. A lot out of it. And it'll get you a lot of listings. Is that Laurel, right? Miss Laurel.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I was going to ask you another question. I'm sorry.
I like
So
questions. Don't apologize. I love it. Keep going.
Okay, so you said that you use your sphere of influence.
Mhm.
So what would you say to someone who doesn't have a strong sphere of influence? What would you do?
Are you on social media?
I am.
Are you strong on social media?
I would say I'm pretty, and I probably could be a little bit more than what I am.
Okay.
With sharing like my personal side, but I feel like I do post a lot on social media.
But it's not what that you're posting, it's what you're posting that gets you what you want. Okay.
Right.
What you put out there, you're gonna get.
Right. So I'll tell you the type of stuff that I post. I usually post like I really like fitness, so I post about me working out, like supplements and stuff that I take. I'm also a hairstylist, so I post like videos, of me doing hair.
Okay.
So those are mainly the two that I post about fitness or hair.
So you just gave me another insight. Hairstylists make the best realtors.
Yeah,
that is your sphere of influence. Your database to everybody who hair you do. That's your sphere of influence. When you are, I don't know if you're curling or locking, I don't know, but whatever you're doing, that database of people that set appointments that come specifically to see you, that's your database. That's your sphere of influence. They know somebody that wants to buy a house or wants to sell, rent, or something. You got the biggest sphere of influence probably anybody on here because you do hair. That's major. And then in your cell phone, how many people you got in your cell phone? If you got an iPhone, you go to the bottom and you can look.
To be honest with you, I don't have that many people because I got the newer phone. I lost a lot of contacts, so I don't have.
Okay, so when you get your cell phone, this is for everybody. Look in your cell phone, and the number of contacts you have multiplied by 6%. That's the business you should get. There's no, you got a sphere of influence. And I don't want to take y'all a little too far, but I don't mind the questions. If y'all good and do the deal good, I'll stay on and keep at, because I love questions. So you've been the most, yeah, I like it. And you're open. See what questions do? You ask that question, and we talked about cell phone database. We talked about your database for hair. We talked about, we're getting into content about Facebook. Request my friendship on Facebook. I want to look at what you post. And then I'll tell you, hey, this is what it is. If Will doesn't mind, I could put you with Janelle, who's our social media person, and she can give you some pointers.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's not a problem. So everybody on here, Will, they don't follow me like my people follow you.
I'll put your page in our group.
I bet. So just
I sent you a request.
All right, send me a request. I'm gonna accept all the requests. Is this Alicia? Is that you?
It is the one and only. Woo-hoo.
Okay, the one and only. Go ahead. Yep, I see you. Respond. I just accepted. So yeah, so just do that and I'll look at it and we can communicate like that. And whatever I can do to help, I'm gonna help. But Ms. Laurel, you have a database that's unforgettable. What do you do for back to school with hair? Do you do giveaways?
I haven't did one in a while. I have did a drive before where if they bought in like school supplies for kids, I would give them a discount off of their service. But I haven't did that in a while.
Okay. Everybody, this is something you should do. Go on Facebook, do a trivia, get with your lender, title company, home inspector. Whoever wins the trivia gets office lunch. For you, Ms. Laurel, you should do it for hair salons and barbershops.
Okay.
And when they win, you get with your lender, home inspector, whatever, and you provide lunch. How much can lunch cost? Put it $150 to y'all $75 a piece. Sponsored by you. That's every agent on here. Sponsored by you. It's a lot of stuff you can do to make yourself and your presence known. You can become a superstar with $75. $75 now is like $7.50. But so you should be happy that you can do it for $7.50. So that's what I'm saying. It's the innovation that we need to have. And this comes from reading. A lot of the stuff are in some of these books, I'm telling you, like parroting. When you read the 92 ways to have a talk to anyone, there's something in there called parroting. When you talk about the 48 laws of power, it's going to teach you different ways how to win people over. But if you don't believe any of this stuff, it's not going to work. You got to believe it. You asked some great questions. You opened up the class. Thank you for that. This is what I was looking for. Anybody else ask questions? Go ahead.
So George, this is Dee Dee again. My question, that parroting, I think I've heard that before. Is that basically like being able to repeat back what somebody has said by being a good listener?
Being a good listener, and what you do is if they're talking about, say they went to the soccer game with their son and their son scored 5 goals, you're going to parrot and say, oh, your son scored 5 goals, huh? And what they're going to do is say, oh, yeah, and he was going down the, they're going to tell you more.
Okay. Can
You
you
get
do me one? I got you. Can you do me one other favor? I sent you a friend request on Facebook. I'm Dyra Initiate Ross, a big name, Dyra Initiate Didi. Will you please
Okay.
accept my friendship?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Is Dyra, I don't see, is it?
And I sent
I
you
see
one
you,
as
I see you,
well.
I see you, I see you, I see you.
Thank you.
All
Do
right.
you see my request as well,
Yep.
LaShonda? Well, okay.
Yep, I got everybody that's from Jax. Yep, I see it. Yep. So the parenting part is like you being a good listener. So this stuff you have to be genuine with. You can't just be doing it. People can feel if you're not sincere. You gotta be sincere. So parent, but parent with really the fact that you're really interested in their son scoring 4 goals or 5 goals. And once you do that, they're going to definitely, they're going to repeat a lot of stuff. If they start talking about how much they love the yard and the house and when they moved in, you want to parrot that because then they're going to start telling you more. The object of these conversations with people is to answer, ask, answer, ask. You want to continue to act. You don't want to tell, you want to ask questions. And as you ask these questions, they're going to give you more. When you start parroting, it shows interest. As you show interest, you start getting responses that you're looking for. You start finding out what they want. You can tell what they want. Trust me. And you'll start winning over people. So this is what we're going to do. Because I don't want to keep y'all on here long. I don't mind staying, do the deal. I'm not joking because as you can see, it's very quiet in here. I don't mind. So the thing is, set a goal tonight. If you want to build a team, put a date on it. When I talk back with you all, because I will be coming, I think I'm gonna come in January, Will. And I don't know if I'm gonna come. I'm gonna call you on the November the 3rd about that. I'm still undecided. I'm gonna probably come in January. If not January, February. And by the time you see me again, we could talk about what you've done. And I don't mind sitting there having a conversation. I don't mind at all. Just set some goals. Know that it's all mental. Some people say 80%, I say 90% mental. It's all mental. What you're not doing is because it's starting here. If you're not going to the gym, Miss Laurel, you said you go to the gym, right?
Yes.
That takes discipline.
Mm-hmm.
It takes commitment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do hair, you're into it, right?
Yes.
All of those things take commitment. You had to go to a school to learn how to be patient with the hair and all that. I don't know. They use steel curling irons and stuff. I don't know. I'm not asking.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm saying is you have to look at your real estate business the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I use relationships a lot when I teach my office. And this is the example I'm going to ask for the ladies. The guys can catch on. If you meet a guy, I know some of y'all married, most of y'all married, but just think about what I'm saying. Before you were married, you met a guy or your husband was talking to you every now and then when y'all first met. He said he was interested. Every now and then he would call you back. Every now and then he would take you out. Every now and then. And you look at 12 months, he probably contacted you 4 times, 5 times in 12 months. What you gonna give back to him? Think about
That
it.
same energy.
Well, what you think your real estate business doing? If you giving your real estate business that type of attention, it's giving you back that same energy. It's giving you back the same results. So you gotta be all in. An hour or 2 or an hour and a half a day. If you're a full-time employee somewhere, set that, no matter how tired you are. I don't care if you got to drink coffee to stay woke. Dedicate that hour a day and watch the results. Any other questions before we close down? It's 8:30.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
When you said an hour a day, does it have to be like, do you get better results early in the morning or in the afternoon, do you think?
You could do both because most people they come home and they answer their phone after maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Or they driving home, or you can do it between 9 and 12 when they're driving to work or lunchtime.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
up to you. It's
Yeah,
really
I've tried
Mhm.
early morning and I've gotten, some responses, and then I tried after 11 and got a couple more. I was just curious if, with your experience, if you noticed a more clump of people at a certain time range.
Yeah, it varies. I mean, with me, I do it all the time. So I've been doing it that way for some years. So what do I see? I really can't tell the difference, but I know some old time guys, man. We call them OGs up here that's in the real estate business. They only prospect after 5 o'clock, and they do well. The newer crew like me, we do it all day in the mornings because we don't want to work in the evenings. Well, as a broker, you can't really do much in the evening because you got to run your office and train. But yeah, just try both. Just see, weigh it. Get a sheet and look at your contacts when you do it at certain times, and put the time by it so you can see your results. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I had a guy I was reaching out to, and he was pending foreclosure. And I don't know, I don't want to open too a big wormhole, but I I reached out to him. I called him in the daytime, in the afternoon, in the evening, because I saw, it was pending foreclosure and he might want to sell.
Mhm.
I sent postcards, I door knocked, I did door hangers, nothing. But in Florida, I think the time frame for foreclosures, I think it's extended or something. So he probably is waiting it out. So I'm gonna just give it some time and try a little later.
So what you do is get a piece of string and cut it short and tape it to your letter and put right over top of it. It's hanging on by a string. Be direct. Be very direct. Hanging on by a string. Write the letter, tell them what it's about, and put that string, say hanging on by a string. Call me today.
Oh my God. Okay.
Because at the end of the day, is he not hanging on by a string?
Yeah, you're right. That's why I'm confused why he's not responding to me, because I'm here to help you. You might still have equity. You could cash in. There's benefits to selling before it goes on what the bank takes it.
Yeah,
But it's like he's being stubborn or something. I don't know. But
all right, well,
yeah.
here's another one. If that's too direct, here's another one. Get a piece of paper, stationary paper with a clock or watch on it, and time is running out. You think I'm joking? I'm serious.
I sent some postcards. The postcards were very they weren't that as direct as that, but they weren't too what do you call it? Too fluffy, but they were not too direct. They were in the middle, and it had the little house on it, and it said, "Call me today." It was something about, I forget the wording exactly, but it was like, "I've been where you are. Call me for your options," or something like that. To get more information on how you can move forward from this position you're in with your home. And I try not to do too much because it's a postcard, so everybody sees it. The mailman sees it. So I didn't go too crazy with it. But I could try the string if you think that he won't be trying to find me.
Well, you got the office address. You want them to, put your home address.
Right.
Put the
No, it's
office
the
address.
office.
Let
It's
them,
the office.
let them come. Let them walk. Come
But I
and
know
sit
some
down.
people get,
Yeah.
they're real touchy
Well, let
about
them
that
come.
because the foreclosure is a sensitive topic.
It is, but let them come to the office. And as soon as you come and say, hey, we can help you. We've been trying to get in touch with you. It worked. We're glad to see you. That's it. We're glad to see you. So you gotta be innovative and extreme. But I don't think that would offend, it will jolt. The only reason why he would be offended is because of a guilty conscience. And that's not your fault. So you're offering him a service or them or her a service to really help them or help him with his home. And he can't, if he's upset about it, I understand. I had an agent that a guy called and he went to the state's attorney, do the deal, and went to the regional owner and everything. Oh, she shouldn't have never contacted. But I stood by my agent. And the regional owner was mad. At that time, he's no longer the regional owner, but he was mad. And the state's attorney sent me a letter saying, good job. She's not in those words, but good. I mean, I'm not, so yeah, do that. Do that. Just be innovative. And there's a guy, do the deal by the name of Alan Weiner. I'll introduce you to him. He has a company called Short Sale Services. And he can do a Zoom like this. He's up here, but he has a home in Florida too. So he might can hook up with you when he comes there. But yeah, I'll hook you up with him and see what you all can do, because he all of this stuff I'm telling you, Miss Jess, is where I got it from. I got it from him. And it does work.
I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. It gives me a different way to look at it instead of this, black and white. So I do appreciate it.
But here's where I have a question for you. That one lead is great, but there's several more out here.
Oh yeah, I've been calling. No one else. I mean, I signed up for this service, and they provided me like 30 pre-foreclosures. And even on the MLS, there's a section where you can get it for free. But what I was taught, I did a training on it, and the lady was like, these people, if they're behind on their mortgage, they're probably behind on their car note, they're probably behind on their insurance, they're probably behind on XYZ. So they're not going to answer. They're dodging the phone. And I understand that. That's why I sent the postcards, and I went and did door knockers, and nothing. Like nobody. I've did 45 door knockers, 45 postcards. I have been hunting these people down, and I know they're probably like, "What? Why is this lady bothering us?" But it's really to help you,
Well, don't stop. Keep going. 10 exit.
So just keep doing it. Really?
Do more.
Okay.
You ain't enough. Stop. You ain't doing enough. You got to do more.
Okay, I thought I was doing too much.
Nah. See, you gotta understand something. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. If you're not getting a reply, keep going. Do more. When a down market, like we just gotten out of, it was slow. Everybody felt it across the country. You don't relax. You go harder. You do more. You expose yourself more. If you were sending out 100 letters, now you need to send out 500. You do more.
Okay.
Do more. All right. Anybody else? Cause y'all know I ain't gonna. They're gonna have to stop me because I'm gonna keep going. Anybody? Anybody?
I want to oversaturate it. Definitely, you coming back. I want to.
Yes, sir.
This y'all Uncle George, my big brother.
I appreciate it.
Y'all got his information. Y'all, I'm not offended at all when you guys talk to other people. I always tell you to get with the best realtors, find out stuff. So that you can learn. And I don't just say that to y'all. I operate like that. I get with the best brokers, and call and ask questions and different things like that. So we're all growing together. George, I definitely want to get with you to, find out what you're passionate about and your other strengths. And I'll set up another training like this.
Okay. Let's
So
do it. But
it was fun. It was fun. Because as a preacher, as a pastor, we used to always have guest speakers, at our church. And I didn't even really think about it in the broker sense until yesterday when I called you. We can get with some great brokers around the country.
That's right.
And stuff like this to help one another. So I definitely appreciate you, and y'all will be hearing from him soon. And like I say, reach out to him. You guys, inbox him. I offered that same thing to his agents as well for me. And I thank you again, George. I did pray over your agents. I want you to pray over mine.
Oh man, you ain't put me on the spot like that. Come on, man.
All those scriptures you done called out, man, you better pray over mine.
Oh man, I'm embarrassed now. Oh, hey
You
man,
got it, Mr. Bryant.
I ain't prayed over nobody in years. Hey, do the deal. Do the deal. You got. All right, so I'm not a pastor, y'all. So you're gonna have to deal with it. Oh Lord.
Just say bless them. Just say bless you.
All right, well, look,
Bless
I'm just gonna say this, and this is from my heart. I pray God blesses you all with everything that you desire, everything that you put your mind, your heart, your soul, your spirit to. I pray God gives you the energy, the innovation, the commitment, the persistence, and the wherewithal, and the bandwidth to continue to go forward and dominate everything in your path and bring everything you have in your mind to light. Amen.
Hey, man.
That's all I got, man.
That was enough.
That's all so
that
look,
was enough.
all right, man. Hey, boy, you got me on that one. I appreciate you all. I can't wait to come to Jacksonville. I cannot wait. I'm probably gonna bring some of my agents with me. Some of them didn't make it the last time we came, so I'm gonna come see you, do the deal, Sonny, Ray, saying something. But I'm mainly gonna come and hang out with you this time, and I'm gonna go kick it with them some. And yeah, man, let's do this. I'm gonna make November the 3rd happen. I just gotta call you. We might not be sitting in the same seat, but we'll be in the same arena. So I'll let you know, man.
Okay.
Hey, I love this, man. I love you, man. I appreciate you, man. And ladies and gents, yeah, let's connect and let's make this a Jacksonville, DC connection. And we're gonna help grow each other from one side of the East Coast to the other side of the East Coast.
And I didn't know you did training on Tuesday night, so let's double up your agents with my agents.
Yeah.
And
all right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's talk about that tomorrow. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, man. Hey, y'all have a good night. Call me, text me, whatever y'all need, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a blessed night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you. Hey.
Hey. Bye.
Bye.